Well, friends, I'm about to do something a little bit crazy. And I know some of you guys are going to be upset with me. You care. You care what's happening to the talking head on YouTube. Now, much of this channel is focused on news and focused in on how to get more prepared. This is very much a preparedness channel. But I do want to talk a little bit about not safety. I want to talk about where we need to stop being safe. Though we know how to get prepared, sometimes you can't let getting prepared get in the way of life. And so that's why I want to talk to you a little bit about some life choices that I'm in the process of making, and I'm going to be moving forward with. Like I said, most videos on this channel, I keep my personal stuff off to the side, mostly because that's not what this channel is about. But I realize many of you have made this channel to be very much a part of your lives, and you care what happens to me, you care what happens to your YouTube news host buddy, Steve Poplar. So, for those of you who want to know, keep on watching. I'm going to walk you through that. Those of you who are just kind of interested to hear kind of my life direction and kind of thoughts on that, keep on watching, and we'll get into that. If this is not your cup of tea, thanks so much for checking it out. If you don't mind hitting the thumbs up button on the way out, that would be appreciated. All right, so safety. We all want to be safe, right? I mean, we want to have nice, comfortable lives. And to do that, we really should be stocking up for a rainy day. You know, good times, we should take what we have and we should be setting it aside, or some of it aside, so that we can be prepared for rainy days ahead. We should be building roots, building a network of people around us that we can count on, right? Family members, friends, neighbors, people in your community, right? People you can lean on in hard times. And also, we should be building systems, you know, like what happens when the water stops coming. You know, we should have a rain collection system. We should have backup power for when the power stops working. To do that makes you more self-sufficient. Having food coming out of your garden so that you can eat healthier. And if there's no food at the grocery store, you can still feed your family, right? But even though I've been there, even though I am currently here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, I am moving in a slightly different direction. I'm going to go take a little bit of a jump off the deep end, into the deep end, and kind of leave some of the safety and security that I've kind of put together here. So I'm actually going to be selling this homestead. This is a great setup here, and I put a lot of effort into it. The battery backups, the solar generator, tied into the electrical system in the house. I'm excited for what has been set up here. Lots of stuff stockpiled, like water, and got a rain catchment system off the garage. Got a lot of nice stuff here, but life is more than just being safe. Life is more than just making sure that bad things don't happen or that you're prepared for bad things. Sometimes you got to be a little more risky, and I understand that this is not the best time to be doing that, and a bunch of you guys are going to be telling me that down in the comments down below. So, without teasing you any further, I'll just give you the cliff notes, and then I'll explain things a little more. So I'm going to be selling the house here and moving to the Philippines. Some of you have picked up on that I've been over there a little bit, scoping things out, and more importantly, scoping out my girlfriend over there. So I am in a relationship, and we're pretty serious. Now, I know a bunch of you guys are going to have comments about that. I'll talk more about that in just a moment. Part of this is my deepening relationship with her, but then also this has to do with missions work over in Philippines as well as in India. There's a lot of important work to be done. So I know that most people would say stay in the U.S. There's plenty of stuff to do here. There's much work to be done in the United States. So many people who need Jesus, who have difficult times and need ministry to them, for sure. But overseas in some of these other places, it's different. It's much deeper and the need is much greater. So that's kind of what is kind of coming. Now let me explain that a little bit. Now I met my girlfriend back in late March online, and that was a very nice process of being able to look through lots and lots of people, because I'm a particular interesting person with particular needs when it comes to a wife. I am a ministry leader, one of the pastors at my church. I'm an ordained minister, as well as who takes his faith very seriously. If you've seen the Bible study channel, you know that. But I've also been engaged in training pastors overseas in India and setting up that in the Philippines as well, and have participated in that in other countries as well. So I needed someone who takes their faith very seriously. And because faith, they need to be the same flavor of faith that I am, and kind of agree with the main points of doctrine and biblical understanding and such. But not only that, but they also had to be engaged in ministry. Someone who, as my brother put it at one point, someone who, even though they may not be leading the women's ministry at their church right now, they need to be someone that you can see leading a women's ministry at church. Not just a woman that goes to church, but a woman that lives out her faith in such a way that other women at church look up to her. So that's kind of a tall order. And we always hope to meet the perfect person, but the truth is that we need to find someone who really meets the large needs in our lives. And I found that person, and I'm excited about that. So it's not a surprise to her that a proposal is incoming. But I'm going to be going back to the Philippines shortly in a couple weeks, where that may or may not happen, right? But we're moving forward with our relationship and moving towards marriage. So that's an important thing. And the way immigration works with the U.S., even though we may get married, it's going to be a process getting her paperwork so that she can actually even enter the United States lawfully. Because I don't know about you guys, but I'm a lawful type guy. Now, like I said, this is about my relationship with her, but this is also about ministry as well. And that's kind of one of the reasons why God's kind of led me over to the Philippines, is to be okay being there for a while we get paperwork done. And then even after that, probably looking at spending some of the year in the Philippines, some of the year in the United States, once we get everything kind of set up. So I'm going to be getting acclimated to the Philippines. And I've mentioned this before to people about preparedness. Yes, you can be very prepared where you are, but that's kind of all banking on things being good or good enough where you are. Sometimes the best thing to do is just not be there in the first place. Just leave and go somewhere else. And so I'm kind of taking that route of planning a little more, of not being where the problem is. So if World War III kicks off, will the Philippines be a better place than the United States? Maybe, maybe not. I'm guessing that it might just be better over there. So with that, we can't live our lives in fear. We can't live our lives where we're just hiding under a rock, hoping to survive another day. We need to live, right? And that involves growing in our relationships with other people. And that also involves our purpose in life. And that's where I am right now, is as much as I value this YouTube community and you all, the truth is that I touch your life this deep. If this YouTube channel stopped posting videos tomorrow, I'm not saying that I will. But if for whatever reason I stop posting YouTube videos, you would relatively quickly go find another YouTube channel to get your news from and start watching. I've seen the process. If you remember the prepping preacher, Pastor Tim, he went to heaven, and everyone just kind of moved over to other channels. Let's just be honest. That's what happened. And so I'm not under an illusion that this relationship is very much one of convenience for you. And you like me for whatever reasons that you like, and I appreciate that. But most of you, I don't know who you are. Unless you've emailed me or you've been a regular commenter, I don't really know who you are. Now, I know a fair number of names. I know a little bit about a bunch of you guys who have emailed me, but I impact your life about that much. Whereas ministry over in India and soon to be the Philippines, the ministry work that I do impacts these pastors and the people that those pastors minister to on a much, much deeper level. For you, you want to watch something on YouTube. You want to get news, and I get that. But there are other people that you can just go over to their channel and get that from too. So I don't see that as my main purpose in life. Again, not to belittle or minimize what we have here on YouTube, but I have the opportunity through my training and through relationships that I've had, that I found some ways of training rural pastors in particularly a third world context or majority world or the global south, however you want to put it. Some of these places where the access to biblical training for pastors is very, very minimal, and pastors tend to be very, very poor. They have a hard time traveling around even to go to a training, and they certainly cannot go to like a Bible college or a Bible school because they don't have the money or the ability to do that. So the training needs to go to them. And I've met many pastors who have a burden and a heart for the pastors around them. Maybe they have training, but they don't know how to train the pastors that are untrained. And they don't know how to equip those pastors to minister and train other pastors. And yet I've come across material that's very, very good for that, that I can pass along very quickly and simply to people, to pastors, that teaches them how to train pastors who train pastors. And I've seen the power of this. It's basically just helping them to study the Bible for themselves. And then I'm not trying to give them some sort of agenda, but rather to allow them to discover that for themselves. And I've seen the impact that I've had on some of these pastors who have this heavy burden to train the pastors in their country to a better level and to train the pastors in their country to train other pastors. They have been deeply impacted by the ministry that I've partnered with and that I am kind of leading up in some of these areas. And so my dream for the last maybe couple years has been to eventually move from YouTube over to doing missions work and ministry full-time in that capacity to train those pastors around the world that need to be trained. So now YouTube gives me a fantastic platform to be able to travel and do that while still continuing to make videos on YouTube. So you've been seeing me doing more of that in the past year. And you're going to see me do even more of that this coming year, as I'm going to be spending most of my year in the Philippines and some other places as I travel around with my new wife. So that is kind of the direction I'm heading in. So I don't ask you to support this YouTube channel. I'm doing fairly well enough with our sponsorship with Genesis Gold and with YouTube advertising. You see all these ads, or if you pay to subscribe to YouTube and you don't see the ads, which is one of the best investments I've made in my life is not having to watch those ads. But if you do that, then YouTube gives like a small portion of your subscription every month to the creators that you watch. So with that, I don't ask you for money. And I know some channels do that, and no condemnation. Everyone's in a different position. Some channels don't get as many views, and it's a whole thing. But as I am looking at moving over to being a full-time missionary or ministry person, which I don't have a timetable on that. I'm kind of the mind to continue on YouTube until they kick me off YouTube or until this collapses for some reason or another, and at that time kind of transition over to being a full-time ministry or missionary, doing that training, doing those trainings internationally with the pastors. So, all that said, there are expenses related to the travel, to doing the trainings. Right now, everything that you guys give me, when people make contributions here on YouTube, which is not advisable so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate everything. But YouTube takes like about 50% of that cut. So you're basically donating 50% of it to YouTube and 50% of it to my ministry. Because all of that money that gets donated goes straight out to the ministry. Training pastors, providing them materials, providing them training. I put that all there. I don't feel right you guys donating money to me so that I can pay my bills and that kind of thing like that. That's my business, and that's covered as of this point. So I have a platform called Ko-fi. It's K-O and then dash F-I. It's kind of a play on the, buy me a coffee kind of thing, but they spell it weird. The reason why I have that platform there is because they only take like 3%, 3 or 4% of donations on that platform. They take a very small cut. Most of it passes through. So it's much better over there. And you can give monthly subscriptions over there. You can give individual amounts there. And, if you really want to help missions work, do powerful missions work. It's not about me going and traveling and feeling good about myself. It's about us actually going and making a real impact on these pastors' lives and the lives of the pastors that they're going to train and the pastors that they're going to train. So I've been to India 3 times now, and we've trained over 1,000 pastors. Which is not something you can do in 3 trips. I didn't see them face to face, but pastors that I trained have trained pastors who have trained pastors. And in this new area that we're kind of launching, we're going to be seeing probably about 1,000 pastors in the first 6 months trained in that area. That's going to be our first wave, and then they're going to spread to all the people that they know, which is going to grow even faster than our initial area. So it's impacting a lot of lives. And then remember that these are ministry leaders and pastors, and all the people that they minister to are going to be impacted by these leaders now having a much more firm grasp on how to study the Bible and how to disciple people into studying the Bible as well. So I think it's very worthwhile. Some of you guys think it's very worthwhile. Some of you guys don't think it's very, very worthwhile. Some of you guys are waiting around to just hear me talk about my relationship. And we're getting to that. Absolutely. So if you want to help me transition over to being a full-time ministry, if enough monthly subscriptions come in to do that, I would probably do that. I would either transition the YouTube channel over to just giving reports on the ministry work that's happening, or partially kind of halvesies or something like that. But anything at this point that comes in on that will get donated to the organization that I'm working with, that will be then going to for translation of the books, printing of the books, distribution of the books, and travel of trainers to those locations. At this point, I pay all of my travel expenses out of my own pocket. This pocket over here, not that pocket that you guys are donating to. So that's my contribution, as well as I financially support that ministry as well out of my pocket. So all of your money goes that way. So it's a fantastic way for you to donate to a very powerful ministry that is doing this work in Brazil, multiple places in Africa. I'm not sure if we're allowed to talk about all the places in Europe, in Asia that we're in right now and starting work in, but it's a powerful ministry. Okay, so moving on to my relationship. Some of you are going to be immediately out there kind of going, why didn't you look for someone inside the United States, especially with your audience that you have and everything? Dating in the United States is complicated, to say the least, but more than that, I'm kind of looking for someone particular that is involved in ministry in some sort of leadership capacity. Also looking for someone who can enter into my life, and with the desire to do missions work, God just kind of laid it on my heart and kind of led me towards looking over in the Philippines. And part of that is, I'm going to have to be over in the Philippines, but I kind of want to be over in the Philippines anyway because of the ministry work that can be done in the Philippines, and the Philippines is closer to India. And it may be closer to some other countries if we launch work in other places. So being in the Philippines is not a negative, it's actually a positive in the first place. It's a lot cheaper to live there, which means I don't need to be making as much money to live there. I'm living quite cheaply here in the United States because I have my mortgage on this house locked in at a very low rate back when interest rates were much, much lower. So things have been good here. I don't have much travel expenses because a lot of times I don't leave the house, spend the day on YouTube. But that's kind of why I kind of was looking over in the Philippines. Now, the next question, of course, that you guys are going to be asking, or you've already typed up a whole bunch of that, how do you know that she's legitimate or that she's really loves me for me? And I think that part of that is like you kind of have to, you kind of got to talk to them. You got to be in a relationship. You got to see who they are, what they motivated, and a lot of that's just going to come out over time. And so I've been spending a lot of time with her, chatting online, meeting with her in person back in April and May, and also just really getting to know her over the long term. I know a lot of you guys are like, that's not long term yet. Yeah, I know. But I've seen her colors, and I do trust her. She's not after my money and certainly not after my fame or fortune, but she is motivated by the same kinds of things I am, and she genuinely loves who I am as a person and our relationship together. What I do for her is not the money that I have or the citizenship that I have, but rather how I treat her and care for her and make sure that she feels loved and safe in our relationship, and all the things that guys are supposed to do, right? So, moving forward with that on the relationship, yes, I took a lot of precautions on making sure the person's legitimate. And when I went over there, I talked with people like her pastor and met her family and met her friends and met her co-workers, and she teaches at a school. And so all that to say, it's a genuine, healthy relationship that is that has been such a blessing and encouragement and a joy to my life. And she's just a wonderful person that everybody who meets her loves her. And that's just really encouraging that it's not just me who likes her, but rather she quickly makes friends everywhere she goes. And I've seen that in person. She just connects with people, and she's a very joyful person in everything. So it's just, we've had some highs and lows in our relationship. We've had some tough conversations. We've had a lot of serious conversations. We've had a lot of fun together. And so I know a lot of you are very happy for me, and some of you guys are very worried for me. I get that too. I haven't answered all of your questions, but my family has asked most of those questions, and they've been walking me through that, as well as my church and my leadership at my church through that process too, and my friends and everything like that. So due diligence is being done, but in the near future, I am going to be selling this house and moving over to the Philippines and getting married and doing missions work and ministry work much more so than I am currently doing at this time. So there's the long of it. Hopefully I answered most of your questions, but I will pop down in the comments and I'll read your questions. And if there's questions that a bunch of you guys have asked that I haven't answered, maybe there'll be a part 2 to this video. Or maybe not, but starting tomorrow morning, we'll be back with the updates and the news, and I won't make this channel big about me at this point. If you want to support the ministry of training pastors in the Philippines, in India, and knowing that this is all going to just the books and everything like that at this point, but if you're like, hey, Steve, I want you to be a missionary, I want to support you monthly, if a whole bunch of you do that, I will start pivoting more that direction. If there's a certain level, I guess it's going to be more like halfsies, half YouTube. So cut the content on YouTube, spend less time on YouTube, and spend more time doing ministry. And at a certain point, fundraising to the point where we can do that full time as a couple. But all right, friends, that's what I have. Let me know your questions or comments down below. Hopefully you guys are nice to me and not too mean. I'm not, from what I gather, not being too stupid or naive about things. But some of you guys have more wisdom and experience than I do, so I will try to humbly listen to those of you who have concerns and cares. Is this the best place to be for World War III and for what's coming? Maybe not, but hopefully you can understand better my reasons on why I'm kind of doing what I'm about to do. Hopefully I haven't freaked out too many of you too much. This channel will continue on like normal, but once I get married, like this fall, I may not be able to post quite so much because I'm a single person right now, and I'm just crazy in the amount that I post, and having a wife might make it so that I can't post quite so much because I need to spend time with her. All right, friends, hopefully you guys have a great, blessed day, and thank you so much for those of you who faithfully watch and support by sharing and liking and commenting and sending in your reports and updates. For those of you who are over on Ko-fi and contributing financially to the work and ministry work over there, or you've contributed in the past to the work, I really appreciate you so much, and I'm so excited that you are of the same opinion as me. My mailbox continues to work. It's the one Strabane Township, Strabane, PA. It's down in the description, as well as I think it's also on the channel page too. There is an address there if you dig in and look for it. And some of you guys have been mailing checks. That will still be active for a while, but I'm going to be pivoting my address over to South Dakota. I'll be doing that for tax purposes, and we're going to see what happens in the future with when we come back to the States and everything like that too. All right, friends, thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for being supporters and for caring and watching this deep into a video that's mostly about my personal life. All right, friends, thanks so much for watching. If you want to go straight over to Ko-fi, I'll put the link right there on the screen. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up there. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report and Bold Faith Bible, or now it's the Poplar Bible Studies. God bless you all.